Welcome back to Lady Boss Unplugged. This episode is bold, and if you ask me, it's long overdue. You see, I have something tattooed on my body that's become a mantra, whatever the word is, for my life. Be your own kind of beautiful. And today I want to go deep into what that actually means, not just for me, but for you as well. Because for way too long, I believed the lie I had to shrink myself physically, emotionally, even spiritually to be accepted. I thought being beautiful meant being quieter, smaller, and more like everyone else. But I've come to learn that the real beauty, real confidence, it comes when you stop performing and start being. So buckle up, ladies. This episode is for the woman who is tired of hiding, tired of trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for her, and ready to finally show up as the bold, beautiful woman she was created to be.
Welcome to Lady Boss Unplugged, the podcast where real women have real conversations about crushing their goals, building unstoppable confidence, and creating lives they absolutely love. Hi, I'm Kaitlyn Talamonte, CEO and owner of Lady Boss, wife, mom of 2 boys, and your biggest cheerleader.
Do you remember when mommy looked like that?
Way not similar.
Each week, we'll dive into stories, strategies, and straight up motivation to help you show up as the best version of you. Because let's be honest, you are made for more. So whether you're driving the kids to practice, hitting the treadmill, or just taking a moment for yourself, get ready to laugh, learn, and leave inspired.
Lady Boss gives you the tools to not only hit your weight loss or your health and fitness goals, but to believe in yourself.
This is Lady Boss Unplugged, where women like you rise, thrive, and shine.
Hey ladies, I want to jump in today about a topic that might, Hey ladies, I want to dive into a topic that I feel like is a little hot for this day and age. And we're going to start off with the word normal. When I was younger, there was always this sense of you didn't fit in if you weren't normal. And then I've even heard things lately, especially with teenagers and kids and going to school, that you're almost getting made fun of if you are normal these days. But for me, that stemmed to the question when I first heard this, the word normal. What does it even mean to be normal? That's where I want to start today. What does it even mean to be normal? Because if we're being real, normal, well, it's a moving target. It's a set of standards set by someone else, not by us as individuals, by someone else. And usually by people who we actually wouldn't want to trade places with. So why would we let anyone tell us what normal is or what normal should be, especially if we wouldn't want to trade places with them? Growing up, I never felt like I fit into the mold of what the world told me to be or wanted me to be. I never felt like I fit in the mold of what was normal or beautiful. I was tall. For you ladies that don't know, I am 5'9". When I put on heels, which I love to wear, I am a skyscraper. I love it. Now, I was bigger than all my friends in weight. I always felt like the big friend, not just physically, but energetically too. Loud, extra, a little obnoxious. And so I tried to sink. I tried to stuff myself into this box, and I tried to quiet myself down. I would constantly worry about saying the wrong thing. I didn't want to be judged. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to fit in. And deep down, I was scared that if I showed the real me, people wouldn't like me. People wouldn't accept me. But here's what I've learned in all my years on this planet. When you try to blend in, you lose yourself. And you start to believe that being less is the only way to be loved. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That is a massive lie, ladies. For a long time, I did everything I could to fit in. I tried to dress like everyone else. I tried to talk like everyone else just to fit the mold. But it never seemed to work. But I tried. Whatever it felt like seemed safe, I would try. And maybe you've done the same thing. I know in my younger days, I tried to fit in. I wanted to be in the popular crowd so bad. And so I made friends with some of the girls. And they were amazing, don't get me wrong. But yet, I still didn't feel like I fit. I still was made fun of. And like I said, these ladies were amazing, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wasn't being true to who I was. I was changing and altering who I was because it seemed safe. And it seemed like maybe I could fit in. Maybe you've done some of the same thing. Maybe you've said no to that sparkly dress because you didn't want to stand out. Maybe you stayed quiet in a meeting or in your classroom or wherever it was because you didn't want to sound too opinionated. Maybe you dulled your shine to make other people more comfortable. But did you know when you do that, you lose your fire? You lose your voice, and eventually you lose that joy that comes from being you. I know for me, as a young kid, I was loud and obnoxious and joyful and fun, and I'd be on stages singing my heart out or telling a joke But when I tried to fit in, I lost that person and I gained a new fear. I lost me. Thankfully, things changed. The biggest massive change I want to talk to you about is the largest turning point I have had in my life, I would say, up to this date at least. It was 2 years ago that something in me shifted massively. Like I've had growth before that, but like 2 years ago it was like, bam, here's the shift. I got tired of playing small. Tired of being what everyone else wanted me to be. Tired of playing small. Tired of trying to be normal, whatever that is. I started to ask myself, what actually makes me happy? What makes Kaitlyn happy? What do I love? What are my passions? What do I inspire to do and be? And in that season, I dove deep into fears that were quite honestly ruining my life. Fears around public speaking, fears around being seen, fears of giving my opinion, fears of talking too much, fears of standing out too much, fears around using my voice. And when I dove deep, I was finally able to see it. I knew and know I am called. God has a plan for me. And I get to choose whether I walk in it or not. And when I did this deep dive, I saw what it was. What was I hiding from? As a kid, I was on stage everywhere. I loved the spotlight. I loved to make people laugh. I loved to sing. I loved to dance. Fun fact about me, I was in one of the top choirs in South Carolina as a kid. So I was on stages singing everywhere. I would enter every talent show and contest, and I loved it. But somewhere along the way, I packed myself away and I put her into a box. I gained that fear. I tried to fit in. I didn't want the judgment of others. I didn't want to shine brighter. I dulled her. But not anymore, ladies. I've unpacked her. It took a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, but I've unpacked her and I've dusted her off. I'd even give permission to myself to take up space. I don't need to make myself small. I wasn't made to be small, and neither were you. What is beauty? Let's talk about it. Like, what does beauty really mean? Because the world will tell you that beauty is a size, it's a shape, it's a hairstyle, it's a makeup routine. That's what the world tries to tell you. But I've learned that beauty is not a look, it's a presence. Beauty is how you carry yourself. It's your confidence, your energy, your kindness that you share. Your boldness, it's your love. Beauty is owning who you are, flaws and all, and showing up anyways. For me, beauty looks like wearing sequins on a Tuesday or a glittery blazer just because. It's rocking gym clothes one day and the next wearing cowgirl boots and jeans. It's being loud, it's being big, and not apologizing for the space I take up. No one gets to tell me that I can't wear sequins because it's a Tuesday, or a sparkly vest because I want to, or that I can dress up one day and dress down the next. And yeah, I've been judged, okay? Judging is going to happen, okay? I've been called too loud, too much, too extra. You're really going to wear that? But the truth is, I'd rather be too much than not enough of myself. The people who love you won't ask you to shrink. They'll make room for you. And everyone else, let's talk about them. You don't need their permission to be yourself. You don't owe them an explanation. Step into your plan and your purpose and reach for those dreams and goals. Those that have judgments and opinions, their dreams and goals look completely different than yours. They should not have a say in who you are. Maybe you're listening to this right now and you've been hiding parts of yourself. Maybe you've told yourself, I don't want to seem as arrogant. Maybe you're telling yourself, I don't want to make others uncomfortable. Or I'm afraid they'll think I'm too much. Here's what I want you to know. You do not have to shrink to be accepted. You do not have to edit yourself to be loved. You don't have to be less so someone else feels like more. Stop striving for normal, ladies. Stop. And start becoming someone you love to be around. You love to be around. I want to do a little reflection together. And ladies, you do not have to write anything down, but I just want you to think about these questions. Pause this podcast episode and think through them if you want. Rewind a few times, but think through these questions. When was the last time you truly felt like you? What part of yourself have you been hiding? Part of yourself you've been hiding. What would your life look like if you stopped trying to blend in and started showing up fully? What if you chased those dreams? What would you do if you were not afraid of what others might say? Because I know this, ladies, that version of you, the bold, beautiful, authentic version, she's still there. She's in there. She's just waiting for permission. So let this episode be that permission. Let her out. Unpack her. Before I wrap up today, I want to speak some truth over you ladies, and I want you to speak it over yourself too. Okay? Speak it over yourself too. Say it with me. Normal is boring. I was born to break molds. There is no blueprint for beautiful. I do not need to be less. I need to be me. I love this one. God didn't mess up when he made me different. God did not mess up when he made me different. That was the point. The world does not need another copy. It needs the real me. I won't shrink. I'm going to expand. Say it out loud with me, ladies. That last one. I will not shrink. I will expand. Expand, ladies. You don't need another filter. You don't need another person's approval. You don't need another reason. All you need is truth. All you need is boldness. And most of all, you need to be reminded of who you are. And the world today, it's waiting. It's waiting for you to really show up. For the real you. So ladies, with that, go live boldly. Go be loud. Go wear the glitter, okay? Wear the glitter. Go say the thing. Go do the thing. Don't let anything hold you back. Go light up every room you step foot in. Because there's not another woman on earth who can do what you do. Ladies, I am cheering you on. I believe in you, and I love watching you rise. Bye, ladies.